When I was 17, I was supposed to come up with a young women's project and for my church, and I started talking to my dad about it, and he had heard about a program similar to the one we ended up starting in a different state on the radio. And it was about women who were incarcerated that were able to read storybooks to their children, and we thought it was a wonderful idea. And so we thought, let's try it, let's see if we can do this, see if we can make this happen. And so that's how the idea started to happen, and then reality hit and we had to start figuring out how to make it happen. And first we wanted to figure out funding. So my grandfather, he writes grants. He helps write grants. So we went over to his house and he took us up to his office and we started talking about the program, and he started helping us get things organized that way. And then we went to the United Way, and they were awesome to work with and they helped us out a lot. They were our 501(c) status, which we weren't. And so they were great to help us run the program from the beginning. I was 17 at the time, and the prison wasn't too excited about having a 17-year-old come in and run a program, so they wanted to wait till I was 18. So in the meanwhile, my father and I, we went down to the county jail and in Spanish Fork, and we started there. It wasn't the program there didn't last too long, but it was good for us to kind of work things out and to see if it would be something beneficial to people and to see the response that people had, and that went really, really well. And from there, the prison was more open to letting us come there, and they definitely did some background checks and they had a lot of questions for us, but slowly it got implemented into the prison up in Draper, and it was great.
I think if you're going to do a service project, it's nice to have something that really does service and really provides a service to the community. So, and we kind of thought it was a big bite to attempt. So, but every step of the way, it seemed to flow pretty well. When we talked to Bill down at United Way, he was excited about it. He was very supportive about it. And my father was kind of an expert fundraiser, so he helped us get a little money, and Bill, through United Way, I think actually started the seed money. So yeah, we thought it was going to be quite a project.
If we're going to do something, let's really do it. Let's make a difference. And I thought that would be wonderful. And if I had the support, as a 17-year-old girl, you couldn't do it on your own. But I had someone who was willing to be there with me every step of the way. The first time I went to the prison, I was kind of nervous. I had never been inside of a prison of that big before, and they had done background checks on us, and we had all our paperwork in place, and we had our name tags and our badges and everything, and we went there, and I was definitely nervous. And you go through a lot of security and a lot of doors open and close, and I did get really nervous. But once we were inside and we were able to meet the women, my heart just ached for them, and especially for their children. And I thought it was just such a wonderful experience to see these women have hope again, and to have a way to connect with their little children at home. And I think that's why we really wanted to do it, was for the women, but also for the children, because they are the ones who are innocent. It wasn't their choices that took their mother away or grandmother away, and this is a way that they can connect with their mom. And I remember one lady, she told me that her son listened to the tape over and over and over again until it broke. It was a cassette tape. And that she was so excited that we had come back, because she wasn't sure if it was just going to be a 1-month thing or if it was going to be continual. And she was so happy that we came back because she was able to do it again and to send her little boy another tape. Usually I'd gone the day before to the library and I'd pick out the books for the week. And we would just lay out the books, and the women would come in and they'd get so excited and they'd talk with each other and they'd, what book are you gonna read? And they'd all look at the different books and pick out their favorite one. And some people would just kind of stand in line and wait for they wanted to read the same book. I had a lot of support from kids I went to school with in high school. We remained friends when we went to college, and they did all the necessary background checks and applications, everything to get clearance. And they would come with me, and we had some other people from Salt Lake that would come down. They're a little bit closer, but yeah, I had a lot of support from Utah County from my friends at the beginning. We started doing the program like once a week, and then we moved to every other week, and then we moved to once a month as the years progressed. So yeah, I started when I was 18, and I did it all the way through until I was about to leave on a church mission. So I was 21 when I turned things over, and other people have run it since, thank heavens, and it's been a good thing. I obviously benefited from going. I think whenever you serve, you always get back more, and I love those women in that prison, and I'd never met the children, but I love for those children, and I didn't want the program to fall by the wayside and just stop working, and so it was something I looked forward to. I enjoyed driving up to the prison as I got older and just would go through the motions of it, and it brought me joy. It was a good thing.
And she enjoyed it so much, and those kind of programs require a certain amount of time before it gets the critical mass to continue on. And she had put so much work into it that she wanted to do everything she could so it would outlive her. And so it needed some of that TLC right at first really to keep it going. And then it did get that critical mass, I think, and good people continued on, and it's been awesome. We're thrilled that it's continuing.
So the program, I believe, has been running for about 13 and a half years. Started when I was 18 years old, and now I'm 31. So the program's been going those 13 years, and I was only there the first three and a half years. So someone else has been doing it ever since, and that's a wonderful blessing for those mothers and for the children. I believe anytime you serve others, obviously you're doing something good for other people, but it's always come back to you. It always comes back to you. If you have the opportunity to serve, I would. It changes people's lives, and if you have opportunities to make a difference. It'll always bless your life. It's going to make you happy to see other people happy. I had no idea when I started what this would become, and I was definitely benefited from being able to be involved in this program and to see the faces of these women who are just so excited to have the opportunity to read a storybook to their kids and just tell them that they loved them. And it benefited me to see that connection. So I feel like anytime you give, you always get back somehow. And not only do you get back, but the people that you serve, they're going to be benefited and blessed, and their lives are better, and it just makes everything better. I've learned that everyone is good. Just because they're in prison doesn't mean they're bad. They made a mistake, or they're in a bad situation, or they weren't taught what to do or how to behave. But they're still really good people, and they need love, they need encouragement, and they need hope. We all need hope. And anytime we can help each other, we should.